Welcome to episode 9 of the Viking Voices podcast. Here on a freezing cold morning. I don't know for the Fahrenheit listeners, but for Celsius we have minus 22, which is not too warm, and the car doesn't necessarily start in this weather. I'm here with Sadie Hansen today, VCSU volleyball and track and field, and kind of a household name on campus. You are, Sadie.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me this morning on the podcast.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, you know what? To get you up at 9:30 to drive down in, I don't know what Celsius to Fahrenheit. Well, it'd probably be
I
what?
think it's like negative. I thought I said 5.
Okay.
Yeah. 5, something like that.
So I'm thankful that you chose to make the drive and
Yes.
make it in this weather. But Sadie, I think everyone on campus knows what you do and what you're about. But for those who maybe don't, which is few and far between, can you just introduce yourself, where you're from,
Yes.
and all the things you do on campus?
Yes, I am Sadie Hansen. I am a senior here at VCSU. I play volleyball. Well, I did play volleyball, and I'm in track and field right now. I'm involved in SAC, which is Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and then I was a rep for BOSA, which was at a conference level, but that's going to be gone after this year, so that's really not a thing anymore. I am part of NSO, which is New Student Orientation, so I help the freshmen in the summertime come to campus and get to know the place. So, yeah.
How long have you been in NSO?
2 years.
Okay. And then,
Yeah.
obviously, you're graduating this year, so you're not going to do it this summer?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll graduate in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this, not this semester?
No.
No, the next semester? Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. And what's your
Yeah.
major?
Elementary ed.
Okay.
I want to be a special ed teacher.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't necessarily know what ballpark you're majoring in. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing that, and then I have a psych minor because I really like psychology too. So, and some certificates and other things. So
There are a lot of those available at the school,
Yeah,
that's for
right?
sure. So you just, so you said for Oaks, North Dakota, you
Oaks,
said?
yeah.
Okay. How far is that from
an
here?
hour south of here.
Okay, that's not
So
bad.
I'm pretty close to home.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So your major, you said you want to be a special ed teacher.
Yes.
How are you going to kind of break into that after you're done when you graduate here?
Yeah. So a little backstory. I grew up with cousins with disabilities, so that kind of what drove me into it, I guess. And I guess I'm gonna get out into the classroom and see what I like, if I like a smaller school or a big school, and coaching too with that. So I want to coach as well.
I'm assuming volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you done like a student teaching practicum yet? Is that what it's called? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, have you done anything of that, or is that going to
No.
be reserved for next semester,
Yeah.
the fall semester?
Yeah. Next semester I have a 60-hour practicum, and then I'll student teach in the fall.
Right on.
So,
Right
yeah.
on. Yeah, as you get deeper into your major, you start having to put the real experience out there, and
Right.
it gets kind of like this, but it's
See
not
what you can do.
exactly. So we talked about, obviously we're gonna talk a lot about volleyball.
Perfect.
Because your career here was nothing short of phenomenal. It'll be hard to not find you in the record book somewhere. I'm gonna go through a few because I took the time to list all your awards. I think this is
Thank
all of
you.
them at least. Let's see. I'm gonna go from freshman year to your senior year.
Okay.
So you were this NSA Setter of the Week 3 times your freshman year. Setter of the Week on October 12th for the NAIA second team all conference. This is okay. I can't even read my own stuff. There we go. Sophomore year ranked first in the NSAA and fourth in NAIA in assists per set. You were named first team all conference, set of the year, AVCA first team all region, and NAIA third team all American. So that's 2 years. First team all region for the second straight season, your junior year. And then obviously first team all conference, honorable mention all region. And then again, your final year was setter of the year, first team all conference, and then another AVCA all region mention. Congratulations,
Thank
first
you.
of all, on your career. That is,
Thank you.
again, nothing short of phenomenal. So talk about some of your time playing volleyball. How was that, obviously, from freshman year to senior year, a career like that, how do you stay that consistent for 4 years?
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to my parents. They're like my rock. So If I need anything, things are going good, things are going bad, like they're always there for me. But I think teammates too, like I know from my freshman year to my senior year, like the chemistry was so good, and I think that really makes a difference. And when you're positive, you're gonna play better. So, but coaches too, we had a coaching change. Some people might think it's good, some people might think it's bad, but we all stayed close no matter what, and I think that's really, like, they drive me to be better every day and lead by example. So
Right on.
yeah.
Right on. Yeah. I think our coaches were changed at the same
Yes.
summer, I believe. Yeah.
I think so.
So, because you've been a freshman in 2021, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then we've been same
Yeah,
class the entire
yeah.
way through. So let's dive in. Obviously, we're gonna keep diving into volleyball. What are some of your favorite memories? It can be destinations, it can be big games. We'll talk about the regionals up here. Not was it regionals? What was it? Opening round. Sorry.
Opening round, yeah.
We'll talk about that specifically too. But are there any memories that stick out to you as far as that goes?
Yes. We always talk about it as seniors when we went to Arizona our freshman year, and we were doing Hyper 100 homework or whatever, and we were opening up the book, and we soon realized that we really didn't need the book anymore. So we were hoping the upperclassmen were going to say something, but they never did. That was really fun. We learned a lot there about everyone and being so close with everyone. Nationals definitely was a peak moment, and I'll never forget that. Probably that whole year, just because we really shone our true colors and we were on a mission. And then this year we went to Florida, and that was really fun, and getting to go on another cool vacation. So, yeah.
Florida's awesome. The weather is pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously, a bit of a flip from what we're doing now. Was Arizona your freshman year in place of that Florida trip? Would it have been the first trip of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. And then we had a few scrimmages after that. So
Then so you come in as a freshman,
right.
and I know football and volleyball get to campus a little earlier than everyone else. When do you get to campus about? Usually, is it
Probably
early August?
Yeah,
Okay.
first part of August. Yeah.
So you are a freshman, and then less than a month later, you're going to Arizona to compete. How is that?
That was crazy. I was like they do this? Like, what? I'm so used to just staying in North Dakota, so this was really cool. And, like, it's such a big incentive, too, to get people here, go on big trips, so, yeah.
Absolutely.
It was awesome.
Yeah, when you talk about, trips for your team, like, obviously for myself, you have to wait all the way until the spring, so you get the semester, you get the, but you don't even go to school before you get to go to Arizona.
Yeah, it was awesome. We barely opened up our computers. It was great. Yeah.
So how does getting to campus earlier, because I haven't interviewed a football player, I haven't interviewed a volleyball player yet. How does getting to campus earlier feel as far as there's no one here yet?
No.
So is it pretty quiet? It's pretty much your sport and not even school at that point. It really just is bonding with your teammates and playing your sport.
Yeah, like you're with them 24/7, but it's fun. Like
Right.
you get to know everyone, and if you're a freshman, you get to stay in the dorms and get that feel too. So, but yeah, it is a little quiet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I hear that from, the basketball teams that have to stay during Christmas.
yes,
And it's almost worse because they get the cold.
right.
And,
Yeah,
but it's the same thing. You get closer with your team, right? Because that's
Yeah.
all that's all, the people you have. So,
Right.
but it's just such an interesting dynamic to think about. You don't open a textbook before you go to Arizona. That is a nice little incentive.
Yep. You get to be an athlete for 3 weeks. So that's really nice.
Exactly.
No student.
Yep. Yeah. That's the dream right there. So I want to dive into that, the opening round. So
Okay.
one of the coolest things I think in any, college sport is the team lining up in, a conference room or your locker room, and on the
Right.
TV is the selection show. And you're just waiting for your name to be called. So let's dive into that a little bit. So obviously it was a good season for you guys. You guys had a winning record. I think the expectation that you were going to be placed in one of those opening round
Yes.
sites. But what is it like kind of going through that show and, with your team and in that conference room?
Yeah, I think we were picked right at the end, so we were just like, okay, when is our school gonna be called? We're not up there yet, but I feel like we all had a really good feeling about it and that we were gonna be up there, and that we were ready for the next step. So, yeah, it was just a lot of like giddiness and like we were really excited. So,
Yeah. certainly one of my favorite things to watch is, you see all those videos on ESPN or,
Yes.
all those teams that, they don't know if they're going to make it.
Right.
And that's the thing. If you win your conference, it's a different story because you're just
You're
waiting
in.
when
Yeah.
you're going to get picked.
Mm-hmm.
But, it almost adds that extra flair when you're like, are we, it's,
Right.
it's like winning the lottery.
Yes. Like, just waiting.
Yeah.
Waiting.
I
Yeah.
didn't know it was near the end, though.
Yeah, I feel like it was closer to the end, so it was like, that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, can we get picked first?
Yeah.
But
How was the relief in the room when
it was
the selection was
You're
made?
like,
Yeah.
we were all just done. Yeah, we were really happy. So.
And
That's
then, if I remember correctly, and I just, again, this is kind of my research, obviously, trying to do the best I can for this
Yeah.
podcast. You guys ended up drawing against Central Methodist?
Yes, Missouri. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So,
Yeah.
where did you guys go down to? And I know you won that game.
Yes.
So, again, take me through that experience,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, winning that. Obviously, Coach Rack was down there. I know
Right.
he was fired
Oh,
up
yeah,
about
he
it.
was
So,
excited.
yeah, take us through that.
Well, when we saw our name on the board and we saw Central Methodist, we're like, okay, where is that at? Like, we have no idea. And then we soon realized we were going to Missouri at the end of the week. So that was kind of nerve-wracking that we're going to be leaving again and going somewhere way far away. But, we watched film, we did our homework, and yeah. So we drove down there, and I can't remember. I think we played on a Saturday. I
can
believe.
verify that right now, I
Yeah.
think. Let's see. That's why I have the laptop in front of me.
Yeah.
Schedule. Oh, I'm on track and field. As you can tell, I was doing some pre-work here. So Central Methodist, obviously, where is that in Missouri?
It's a great question. I have no idea.
Because I've heard, obviously, they're a good baseball school too. So you
Okay.
hear about them all the time.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of those schools that you see in a lot of these national, they find a way to do it
Yeah,
in 2-3 sports.
right.
And that's kind of the interesting thing. You guys had the opening round, and obviously there's the banner with that's newly
Yes.
put in Gratian with the 2023, and it's kind of like you broke into that and to create kind of this winning culture in the program. So how does that feel?
So it's actually kind of funny coming here to Valley. That's what I strive to do, just change the culture. And just because when you hear about Valley, sometimes people don't, respect it as much as it should be. So that was one of the things that I wanted to do. And I feel like, we all accomplished that together as a team. And it's a really good feeling because that'll never be taken down, hopefully.
Right. Well,
Hopefully, unless it's put in the bubble or somewhere else.
yeah, or
But-
they have to add another one or something.
Yeah.
So Central Methodist, you guys played, you're right, on a Saturday. So
Okay.
you roll in to Fayette, Missouri.
Yep.
You roll in.
That's right.
How is that? Is that the biggest game of your life at the time?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah. And a few of us were a little banged up. So, trying to play through that was, you felt really relieved at the end of it too. And knowing that we get to go to the national tournament, we didn't give up and we just kept going, and that's what we've been practicing all year. So, yeah, it was cool.
I know it was a big deal on campus too because they had the cafeteria watch party
that's
and whatnot.
awesome.
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
unless it was because you guys obviously ended up winning that one 3-1, and then drew up against Eastern Oregon, number 3 in the country at the time,
Yep.
and then number 11 Montana Tech. That's in Sioux City, Iowa.
Yes.
And then so now, I mean, I guess same thing. Bring us through.
Yeah.
Rolling into Sioux City, you're in the national tournament. Talk about some of was there the opening ceremony, all that stuff. Talk about some of that.
Yeah. I think going into it, we knew that we had nothing to lose and everything to gain. We didn't want to just go there and be satisfied with just being there. We wanted to compete, but and I thought we tried our hardest, but it was so cool. Like, we got to do a community service project with all the teams together. It's not just going there and playing volleyball. It's, bigger than yourselves and your team. So I think that was really neat. I think we did like a fun little game night too with all the teams, and you all
That's
had
cool.
to wear neon, and you went
Okay.
to like a little, you played games. I can't remember what it was called, but it was fun. That was fun too.
So how is that dynamic? You're about to go compete. One team can come out. So how many teams actually go down? Do you remember that number?
24.
24?
Yeah.
We talked about getting the host or the engineer more involved. So thank you, Mark. So you roll in 24 teams. You're playing games with those teams.
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird dynamic, I bet.
Yes.
Because you're about to basically one of these teams is going to come out alive.
Yes.
So was there a bit of tension where it's like, okay, we know we got to compete tomorrow, sort of thing, or was it pretty amicable?
I feel like it was new for us, so we were kind of just like, okay, where are all the teams at? Like, we want to know where everyone's at. But I'm sure if you've been there before, you're just like you're ready to go,
right?
And like you kind of know the expectation and like what it is like to be there. And for us, we just wanted to go and compete and really take in that moment. Didn't end up the way we wanted it to go, but
still a phenomenal season.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like you got to think about all the positives too. So.
For sure. To be the one team that comes out of the NAIA over 200 schools it's there's a luck factor involved. There's everything's got to go right. And just to be in that final 24 is an achievement in itself.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It was certainly, you talk about coming off the coaching change, you talk about, coming together as a team, that kind of run, first year coaching is impressive, obviously.
Right.
And, certainly like I said, it kind of, sets a tone, sets a winning culture here. And obviously, that banner, you probably hope it's filled with a lot more opening round and hopefully national championship years.
Yes, that would be awesome. That's the goal.
Yeah. So you said you're graduating next fall.
Yeah.
So that's obvious. So that would be in a year's time. Okay. So are you going to be back with the volleyball team in any capacity?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say that. I could probably answer that
question.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah, so I'll be a student assistant. That's kind of the plan right now. And then I'll student teach while doing that. And then hopefully I can get my master's in the spring, start that in the spring. But yeah, take that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So actually we have to get into track and field too, because again, you have a plethora of awards. Would you do graduate assistant for track and field in the spring?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And masters is a lot. No.
Yeah. I do love track, but
yeah. No, volleyball we know is your bread and butter. So, talk about recently, some of the favorite. So was this your first time in Florida with the volleyball team?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm seeing Kaiser Viper Sports Academy Classic, West Palm Beach, Florida. Obviously Florida, beautiful state. We're headed down there for a few weeks too.
That's
exciting. In a bit. Just talk about that. It's Florida in August.
Right. It was really hot, humid. It went by so fast, honestly. Like, I feel like everything in your senior year goes by fast. So that was kind of sad that, we landed and we played a few games and then we just left right away. Yeah. So, but no, we had a lot of good competition and I thought we competed well down there. But yeah.
Yeah, two ranked teams, one receiving votes.
Yeah. And
then 2-2. So again, beating the teams that are.
And the gym was air conditioned.
Ooh,
yes,
that
was
big.
Because in Arizona it wasn't, and that was in August, and that was not very fun.
No,
so,
that doesn't sound fun at all.
It was a positive that it was air conditioned.
On the topic of gyms, I didn't have this written down, but I did want to ask: do you like playing in Gratian more or the Bubble more?
Kind of like 50-50.
Okay.
I love Gratian because it's like everyone's so close.
It's so loud.
Yes, and it's very loud.
Yes.
I know the stands aren't, super easy to get up and down from, but I like the Bubble too because it's a bigger gym and I feel like you can play more balls too in there.
Yeah, I've always wondered kind of, there's I did a lot of your games this year from a commentary, and there were definitely, balls that went up in Gratian that hit the brick or hit the roof, and it's like, well, in the Bubble, like you might make a play on that, right? You have more room. But I always thought, as a team, I was like, okay, they probably prefer Gratian.
Yes.
Because it's louder. That gym, even when you have 50, 60 people, it's so, you're in so tight and it echoes so loud. So it feels like a full barn with 500 people.
Exactly. So, yeah. And we have our own locker room too.
That's right.
So that's really nice.
That's right. So in the Bubble, you just go to the basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, at least we get a locker room, but, ours is,
Yeah, there's nothing like your own locker room. Right,
exactly.
No, I'm with you 100%. So, take us through, so obviously your senior year just wrapped up. Let's see here. Lost in the semifinal to Bellevue. who actually, I think they ended up having quite a run.
Yeah, they're in the championship game.
Okay, well, there
Yeah,
you go. That's the
they-
information. Who's
yes.
playing the championship now?
Indiana Wesleyan won.
Oh, that's
I
right. It's
believe.
done.
Yeah,
I did see
it
that.
is. I think
So
it was yesterday or the day before.
it was definitely, yeah, it was just
Which was-
finished up,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. You would know probably better than me.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the big nights. Obviously, I'm looking, senior night, the Wednesday game against Dakota State where you at home win 3-1. That was a big one at the time
Yep.
because it had some seeding implications. Talk about some of the big games this year. Talk about, kind of your senior year as a whole.
Right. I think overall, I just wanted to take in the whole experience, being a senior and it being my last year. We didn't finish maybe the way we wanted to, and I feel like the last game was definitely not how we play volleyball, but at the same time, we never gave up and we all played together. I think Dakota State at home was a really big match for us and a really big win because we had lost going to them during the year. Who else? I think the Mayville games, beating them is always,
Yeah,
The
there was
rivalry,
a burner.
yeah.
It was, I'm looking at it right now, the one that went 5 sets
Yep.
down to the wire. That was there for that one too, and it was a phenomenal.
right. I think another game would be Jamestown at home when Danny went down, and trying to fight that adversity. And I think, obviously it didn't end up the way we wanted it to go, but
Right.
we also had people on the bench who came in and did their job, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
So you have
Yeah.
to take that as a win too. So
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously your senior year, you remember this one probably quite well.
Yeah.
Even though like you said, you didn't finish the way you wanted to. But there were at times you guys were obviously receiving votes still. So
Yeah.
again, still a successful year when you think about it, kind of in the grand scheme of things. Would you say?
yeah, I think so. Sometimes you can't look at the wins and losses all the
Right.
time. You gotta look at your culture too,
Right.
and everything else that plays into that. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, wins and losses certainly aren't the only way to measure team success.
Yeah.
We could go on with volleyball forever.
Yeah.
But I would like to talk about, because you are a two-sport athlete,
Yes.
track and field. And again, I'm going to go through the awards because it's only right. So let's start. I put 2022. So you have outdoor and indoor.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm going to make sure I actually. You know what? Let's ask one more volleyball question.
Yep.
Your volleyball camps, summer volleyball camps.
Yes.
Talk about those. First time I learned about them was about half an hour ago.
Yep.
So just kind of give us the in on those.
I just really love volleyball and I want to give back to it. So this was my way of, offering my advice and, if I can teach any life lessons, because that's what a coach is supposed to do, to younger girls who want to play volleyball. And I did just setting camps, and that was awesome, and I'm really comfortable doing that. The first year I did it in Gratian during the summer, and then last summer, going into my senior year, I traveled to different schools to do setting
Wow.
camps, and I did all skills camps as well. That was a little iffy, but it was still fun.
Right.
And, just trying to give back was what I wanted to do. So,
Right on.
yeah.
Is
It's
that-
really flexible, too. Like, I can make my own days.
That's right.
And I can go to the lake on the weekends.
There
It's
you
great.
Go. Yeah. And it's kind of a good summer gig, obviously. Was that a solo? Was it just you going around, or did you have help?
Yeah, I did it by myself for, like, the setting. And that was, that was awesome. It was great. And then I did the all skills camps with someone else. So,
Right on.
yeah.
That's quite cool. Yeah, you definitely, certainly hopefully those people listen to what you had to say,
Yeah, I
because
hope so.
you know how to play volleyball, that's for sure. So let's go to track and field, and then we'll get into an award you just won.
Okay.
And where you're about to go to accept that award, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about track and field here. So again, like I said, I'm going to go through the awards. So freshman season, third in shot put, all conference. Named the VCSU Athletics Newcomer of the Year for volleyball and track and field. So I missed that one. Sophomore year, indoor. Named all conference. again, and I'm not even like placed third in shot put, 12th in weight throw. Like there's so many placements that I could get into. Sophomore season outdoor, another all conference, 4th in shot put and javelin, 6th in discus. Junior season, 7th in shot put, 5th in the 4x400 relay. I don't know. I'm just running through these because obviously I'm junior season. This is outdoor, national qualifier in javelin, all conference in javelin, 26 at the national championships in javelin. So again, and then I see Daktronics scholar athletes for all this. So again, awards they speak for themselves. Talk about that transition from volleyball to track and field first off, because that's, as a one sport athlete, I couldn't imagine flipping the switch.
Right. They're two completely different things.
Yeah.
So that freshman year was like, what am I getting myself into? But I think the best part about it is I've like really patient coaches who understand and get it. And I feel like that's a lot of the coaches here if you're a dual sport athlete too. But yeah, I, get to be playing volleyball with a bunch of, everyone has to contribute, and then you get to track, and it's just on, it's you.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you put in is what you get out, and you obviously want to compete hard for your team too to win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we go down to the little racquetball room for like 4 months for indoor, and we're in there for 4 months, and that's like, wow, this is wonderful. But no, it's great. I love both of them, and I'm so blessed that I get to do both of them and that I've stayed healthy enough. So, but yeah, I love that they're two completely different things.
Right.
And I think that's super unique. So
I ask this to everyone who plays two sports. Does playing one help the other? Like, obviously, the skills aren't necessarily transferable.
Yeah.
But you stay athletic by doing,
Right.
Having this broad skill set.
Being a thrower, you have to be super explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So any throws you do, and you have to be strong. And I feel like that also helps with setting in a way too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do a whole lot of movement with throwing, so it's good that I have spring volleyball workouts too that I did to keep me, agile a little bit more. But yeah, they're very different, yet some of the movements you do are similar.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, I always have such, I'm in awe of people that can play two sports in college because, I do one sport and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting tired. I don't even want to do school.
Right.
It's certainly impressive. I had a follow up. Why? Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Transition. Is it immediate for you? Are you right now right into your track and field season?
I am right now.
Okay.
My freshman year, I think I took a week off just
Okay.
because I didn't know,
Right.
the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year, since we went to nationals for volleyball, I just took the rest of the year off, came back in January.
Right.
And then we were done right after, right at conference time this year. So I took 3 weeks off, and now I started on Monday. So
Gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
we have our first
so
meet
real.
on Saturday, so
Okay.
or Friday, and then I'll go compete at that.
Right.
So.
This Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're already into it.
Yeah.
So you get recruited here for volleyball. I'm assuming first.
Actually,
Okay. Well, let's get into
this
this.
is a story.
Perfect.
My sophomore year of high school, I came here for a visit. I didn't love it,
Okay.
so that was a little weird.
Have to edit that one out, Mark.
Yeah, yeah. And then I toured other schools, and then my senior year, I was like, maybe I should try Valley again.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually emailed Bridget when she was the coach here, and I was like, hey, I'm considering, coming here or whatever. And actually that day, the setter had quit.
Okay.
So it's just a really weird haul
Yeah.
that happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So then I came here on a tour, and Dave Bass sold me on this, here, and I loved it. So, yeah.
Dave Bass could sell you water from the faucet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He could.
Interesting. So you come to visit. So volleyball you were first recruited for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
When did the track and field, was it like on campus, like, I might as well?
I got a text message
Okay.
3 days later,
Oh,
and
okay.
Laquan was like, would you like to do track? I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't consider that, but yeah.
So in high school you did track and field
I
as well?
did,
Okay, I was
yeah.
good, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
always wondered, the two sport athletes, what came first? And,
Right.
how they got into the second one, or maybe it was, both at the same
Right.
time. But everyone has a story, like you
Yes,
said. And,
yeah.
So again, kind of some of the same questions I had for volleyball. Favorite places you've been that track and field have taken you. Favorite memories, maybe. Just kind of go through that.
Yeah. Probably my best memory is going to nationals. We don't really get to go to a whole lot of places, but
Yeah, it's pretty local, right?
yeah, and we went to Indiana Wesleyan, which that campus is wonderful.
Okay.
So beautiful. Chick-fil-A in there. Yeah.
Right on.
Yes. So that was really fun. That was the best experience probably. And then I think just, you're with these people 24/7 too, and at meets you're cheering each other on. And I really like conference meets because that's when everyone really gets competitive,
Right.
and as it should be. But yeah, I think those meets are really exciting too. So.
And VCSU traditionally hosts the end of the year meet, right? Is that, or maybe
we do have like a twilight meet?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a fun one? Kind of just being at home
Yes.
on your track, yeah.
Yeah, it's like relieving being at home
Yes.
finally. Not having to travel during the week is it's great.
Yeah.
So.
So when I think track meet, obviously, we used to have them all the time in junior high school.
Yes.
Where you're sitting around on the grass for 3 hours, you go
Yeah.
run your event. You sit around for another 2 hours, you go jump.
Yep.
Sit around for another 2 hours. And so how do you, is that kind of what happens there? Is that, how do you stay locked in with, kind of, because obviously volleyball, you're in it all the time.
Yep.
If you're on the bench, you're going back in 16 seconds.
Right.
But, if you're sitting around for 3 hours, you start to get, tired, you get tight, like how do you stay locked in for that?
I try to get up and move around a little bit, especially like 30, 45 minutes before I know I'm going to throw. Warm up again. I mean, you're warming up a lot during the day because you have to sit around
Right.
for so long. But I listen to a lot of music too, so that kind of keeps me in the zone for the most part. But
Right on.
yeah, I mean, I've never really thought of that before until you just asked me that. So probably music though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember the ones we, in junior high school.
Oh, yeah.
Where you had to pick, I think it was like you had to pick at least 4 events, and you're there from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m.
Yep.
And you have half an hour of action, if that,
Yes.
and then the rest is sitting around. So
Yeah, and talking and socializing. Yeah.
yeah. So it's definitely, I feel like for that, it would be hard to stay locked in. So it's impressive
Yeah.
that everyone can do that, but especially like obviously like the throwing. Because you do shot put, you do the discus.
Yep.
They're very heavy. I throw a baseball,
are.
that's not heavy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like I'm going to rip my arm off when I
Right.
throw that shot put. So obviously there's a technique to it
Yes.
that I have not been close to mastering. I used to do the long jump because the small I
jump,
could
yeah,
jump far.
right.
But, the
on.
shot put that's one where I'm like, my arm's coming off with the shot put.
Yeah, and it's like brute strength. So you're just like, I got to chuck this thing as far as it
Yeah.
can go. Yeah.
It's cool watching the Olympics when those just, like, they are just, they can bench 500
gosh,
pounds and
yeah.
they get that thing going. I'm like, how does your arm not go with it?
Right. And
Like,
they're so athletic and their technique is just
Yes.
I'm like, man,
Yeah.
one day.
It's certainly, the
Hopefully.
technique is certainly the big thing
Oh, yeah.
in all those events. And, obviously the recent Olympics, you obviously relate a lot to, sports that you players that you watch, like at your level kind of thing.
Right.
And it's like, I look at like the runners, the long jumpers, and it's just like, it's kind of crazy what, people can do.
Yeah. When you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
So let's get into, I got one more serious topic,
Yeah.
and then we can get into fun stuff. So you just won the NAIA Dr. Leroy Walker Champions of Character Award. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Did I say that right?
Yes,
okay.
you did. Yep.
And you are about to go to San Diego in April, you said, just before this podcast.
Yep.
So again, congratulations to you. Just tell us what that award means. Well, first of all, can you tell us actually what the award means?
Yeah.
Because I know, we went through it, but obviously the listeners. And then tell us what it means for you to win that award.
Yes. So Champions of Character is, the 5 core values and the NAIA, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, servant leadership.
Uh-oh.
There's one more.
See if I can find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you keep going.
Okay. But yeah, the five core values that you try to instill in your life every day, and I try to do that every day, I guess, and try to be a better version of myself, and yeah, and I guess winning it, I was not expecting it at all. I'm just very blessed, and I think it's super cool that Dave Bass nominated it for me, and that he thought I was worthy of being nominated. So I think that's super cool. And
It absolutely is. Very impressive award. Okay, which four did you have? Because I have them in front of me.
Okay, servant leadership, sportsmanship, respect, responsibility,
Starts with an I.
integrity.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got
I didn't
it.
want to give it away for free, right?
No.
No, but that truly, again, obviously this isn't just a conference champions of character award. This is, or not a conference, like a team one. This is the whole conference. So nation, again, the engineer comes in clutch, needed that, which is again, we talked about 200 plus NAIA schools, for you to win it is certainly impressive, and obviously, great for the school. So
Yeah.
so yeah, congratulations on that. San Diego, that's April, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. First part of April, so
That'll be fun.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. You said you haven't been to San Diego, hey?
No, it'll be a good little break too.
Right.
You know.
How many days do you go for? Do you know?
I think Thursday to a Sunday.
That's not bad. A little weekend in San Diego.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't say I've been there either. So I know
First
it's
time
a
for
nice
everything.
city. Yeah, exactly. No, it's a nice city.
Yeah.
So obviously went through the sports, the the major, all that. I got a few fun questions.
Yep.
That I try to switch it up with everyone, but I've kind of settled on three that I really like. So I'm gonna ask them again. Dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
It's a good one. Probably.
So many people.
I know. Probably Chris Kyle.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Fortunately, he, is not here. But I love like war movies and all of that. I'm very intrigued by all of that. So I would love to sit down with him and have a meal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that I was not expecting.
No. Yeah.
Again, I'm a Canadian, so he was the one who was on stepped on the mine, or did he dive on the mine? No, I'm thinking of a different one.
He got back from his tour, and he got,
Oh, okay.
He was. There's a movie,
Okay.
American Sniper.
Okay, that's the one I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm thinking of a different one, but
Okay. That's definitely a movie. Yeah, that's one too. But American Sniper, I grew up watching that movie all the time. So.
Chris Kyle. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All my American friends are gonna be very disappointed in me. I knew it was either him or there was another one. There's another story about someone who dove on a mine.
Okay.
But again, I'm not well versed in
okay.
war movies, or I don't like to watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not. So Chris Kyle.
Yep.
Obviously, is there anything out? Just the movies, or?
I love the movies, and actually my aunt lives in Texas and lives pretty close to where his wife lives.
Wow. Okay.
So when I went to Texas, I got to see their home.
Very
and
cool.
I thought that was really neat.
Very cool.
And I don't know, I just admire their work ethic, their discipline, their everything. So, and if I can learn something from that.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
a good one. I really like that one. I feel like there's no wrong answer, but I always love hearing the explanations as to why. But I really like that one.
Yeah.
This one I asked everyone. Favorite restaurant in Valley City?
Probably Bridges.
Okay. That's the first time. Bridges.
Really?
Yep.
I think it's consistent, and
it's a good word. Yes, this is a consistent restaurant.
Yep. It's good.
And then obviously you've traveled quite a few places for sports, but do you have a bucket list travel destination, that might not be for sports?
Oh, yeah. Probably can I say two?
You can say however many you want.
Okay. Greece.
Okay. That would be up there on my list. That's
everyone.
A great spot.
Yeah. Or probably I'm also like super intrigued by the Holocaust too.
Okay.
So going to Europe
Mhm.
and, you know, seeing all of that, I'm just, yeah.
Interesting.
I like history, so that
Yeah.
would be something I would really enjoy.
Okay.
But yeah,
I like those too. Obviously, Greece is you see pictures of it. It's like
Yeah.
not even real.
no, it's not.
Um,
There's no way.
But yeah, that would be some of those more those historical kind of, I guess, can you say it's a monument? It's probably not a monument, but it's a
Yeah.
historical a site. I guess
Yes.
it's a historical site. Certainly would be a very real place.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
travel. But yeah. So kind of drawing near the end of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any favorite memories that you haven't touched on at the school? It could be sports, it could be in the dorms, it could be walking around camp. Any memories that, stick out to you?
Probably being in the dorms.
Mm-hmm.
Some days I do miss being in the dorms and being a freshman again. That's just like you learn about everyone
That's right.
and you get to meet new people, and it's a really fun time
Mm-hmm.
as a freshman. But I'm also grateful to be here as a senior today.
Yes.
So, but yeah, that's probably the biggest memory that all the staying up a little too late,
Yeah.
and
We've all been there.
yeah. But those were probably the best memories.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think every senior secretly sometimes wishes they were back in the dorm as
Yeah.
a freshman.
Right.
Certainly fun times that, are very unique experiences. Obviously, even if you live off campus, you still see your friends, you still do all that stuff, but it's just like the dorms make it,
So
kind of
close knit.
special. Yeah.
Right.
Talked about you being a special ed teacher, obviously. Do you have any other plan? Do you, obviously coaching, volleyball, or is it going to be something with the school? Or are you going to continue doing your camps? What kind of are your plans with that after school?
Yeah, I would love to continue to do camps. Yeah, like I said, it's just my way of giving back and teach younger girls how to play volleyball. I just have a huge passion for coaching. So wherever I can be at, doing that. But I also want to be a teacher too, just because I got my education for that.
Right.
So, and I, yeah, I have a passion for, teaching the youth. And if I can make a difference in someone's life, I hope I can do that. So, but yeah, those are kind of my plans.
And probably close to home, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm kind of a close to home girl.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a niece too who lives in Fargo, so it's kind of hard to, get away from her.
Right.
So, but we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
where life takes me. But,
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like you got it figured out. I guess I got one last question for you.
Yep.
You've probably done recruit visits throughout your whole tenure here. What is kind of your 30-second to a minute pitch to anyone who's, thinking about coming to Valley City State?
If you want a cheap education and if you want, professors who support you, if you want coaches who support you, I think this is definitely the place to be. Like, you could potentially walk out of here debt-free if you really, or close to debt-free if you really wanted to. And, in this day and age, I feel like that's super important when you get to be a senior and you have to start thinking about that. But getting a great education, and if you want to be a teacher, this is like a no-brainer to come here.
Right.
I have wonderful professors, and I'm grateful for each of them because I've learned so much. But, yeah, that would be my pitch.
Right on. Right on. Well, Sadie, I appreciate you coming down to the
Yes.
the recording studio on a cold morning like
Yeah.
this. It's a lot easier when it's not -5.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If it was a little warmer, that would be better, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
That's all right. We're in it's almost Christmas time.
Right.
We're in that kind of. I think we were lucky last year with the weather.
Yeah, we were.
Big time.
Yes.
So I think we feel like we're getting
Little
cheated out there a little
neglected.
bit.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, again, thank you for coming on the podcast this morning.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Obviously, when we started our short list of guests, your name obviously came up. So again,
Well, thank you.
we know we kind of knew we were gonna interview you here at some point. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for doing this. And yeah, this has been episode 9 of Viking Voices. Thank you for listening.